Hello guys, what's going on? And welcome to the first episode of a podcast I'm starting called Bark with Drayson. Now the reason I'm starting this podcast is a bunch of reasons. I want to be able to talk to different areas of the dog training world, different industries within the dog training world, and pick their brain. People with far more experience than me, I want to be able to sit them down, have a conversation with them for an hour or so, and pick their brain and try and learn as much about them, about their story, and about dog training from them. Now the idea of this is to take you guys along for the journey with me. So as well as I'm learning, I can share it with you guys and you guys can learn as well. I want to be able to, like I said, talk to a bunch of different aspects of the dog training world. People that work with rescue, people that work with gun dogs, people that work with pets, sport obedient, the list goes on. Not just dog trainers, dog owners, business owners within the dog world, all these different areas and aspects. Like I said, pick their brain, get them little nuggets of gold and share them with you. Now I've got a few little notes I want to make sure that I follow, just to make sure that I tick off everything I want to talk about. Now, how often am I going to do this? I want to try and do this at least once a month. Like I said, get different trainers. I've already got a few trainers in mind. I've spoken to a few people that are more than happy to come on and chat with me for an hour or two, which would be great. So hopefully we can get through these thick and fast, and hopefully if it does pick up and people are interested, I can go from once every other week instead of once a month, but we'll just see how the podcast progress. I've already discussed with the type of people I want on. Now obviously I haven't got a guest for the first episode, so I thought I'd just talk you guys through my story, my why, my goals for the future, and you guys can get to know me a little better. Therefore in the future we can kind of grow together, learn together. Okay, so probably the biggest question to start off with is why am I involved in dogs? Why am I involved in dog training? Why do I aspire to be a dog trainer? Now I've already grew up on a farm. My father's been a gamekeeper my whole life, so I've had working cockers and working labs my whole life, and I've really enjoyed watching both my father's cockers and then the beaters and the pickers up and the guns that have their working dogs. I've just always really enjoyed watching them hunt and do what they were bred to do, you know. Seeing a cocker hunt through some bracken, through bramble, and not just doing that, but doing it fast and with intent and enjoying itself while it's doing it, coming out of the bramble with cuts in its eyes, but yet it's this absolute element of enjoyment. And that's kind of where I really fell in love with dogs to begin with. We didn't really have any pets; they were all working dogs, and that's why myself now I have two working Springer Spaniels. I've got Lola, who's currently 9 months old, and I've got Ralph, who is currently 10 weeks old. So, and yeah, I've just always loved working dogs since then. Now, there's so many dogs that I want to work with and that I want to have in the future. I'm sure everyone can relate to loving so many different types of breeds, and I'm lucky enough that I'm still young, and that hopefully I'll be able to work with all the breeds I want to work with and to own all the breeds that I want to own. Yeah. So we fast forward to 21-year-old me, and this is COVID times, lockdown times. I think we've just come out of lockdown at this point, and I've moved away. And I've left my job, and I was a little bit stuck, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided to apply for a few dog training jobs, which offered training along the way, and thankfully I managed to get a role in a company called Bark and Birch at the time, Now there's been a lot of backlash and history of Bark and Birch, and I won't go through that. And basically the company folded. However, the training I got from Bark and Birch and the trainers themselves were phenomenal. I worked with some really excellent trainers with years and years experience in the pet industry, in the military industry with dogs, and I just felt so lucky to be able to learn from them and train under them. And Bark and Birch did predominantly pet stuff, so I was really learning at the start is how to bring up a puppy and all the basics and the foundations around puppies, socializing, the obedience, the lead, the recall, everything like that. It's just a real good foundation of how to raise and bring up a puppy. And then towards before they folded, I started to progress to a little bit more the difficult stuff and fixing the bad recalls and fixing the bad lead work and things like that. And then, like I said, they folded, and then I lost the job again, and I was a bit of a rut. I had to move back home onto the farm, which in consideration really has been a blessing. I've been able to get both my working dogs that I've mentioned earlier, and I've been able to now pursue something that I know I want to pursue as a career. Having that as about a year worth of experience within that company absolutely sealed the deal that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then once you decide that, you really got to think about your why. Why do I want to do that the rest of my life? And despite the fact that I love working with dogs, I think my biggest goal is mastery. I learn from trainers online like Michael Ellis, Ben Randall with the BG Gondor app, and I see mastery. I see years and years and years of dedication to the industry, to the sport of dogs, to the pets of dogs, to the working dogs, and I have so much admiration for these people. Again, there's so many people I could list, but there are two people on my journey that I really respect, and that I wish I would get the opportunity to train under them one day, or learn from them firsthand one day, or maybe even have them on the podcast in the future. So mastery is, like I said, one of my main goals, and something that I really want to achieve, and that I'll never think I'll achieve mastery, but it's the goal and the admiration to try and achieve that, to do endless courses, to shadow endless people. And like I said, it's all aspects. I love working dogs, I love pet dogs. I would really like to get into sport obedience and even some protection work as well. Belgian Malinois are one of my favourite breeds. I just think they're absolutely phenomenal dogs, and that once I have the opportunity and the lifestyle to accommodate for one of them, I will absolutely be having one of them and going into that side of maybe protection or sport obedience. And another one of my goals is just to help as many people as possible. I already help friends and families and friends or families with their dogs, with just, like I said, the basic that I know. Nothing too advanced for me, because then I say just go to a professional, like the reactivity to other dogs, other people like that. I'm humble enough to know what I can handle at this stage in my career, and hopefully, like I said, to do more qualifications under all these magnificent trainers out there. I will then be able to help these people in that way as well. So that's another one of my goals, is just to do as many qualifications as possible, so I'm the most qualified on my way to achieving mastery, even though it never will be achieved, but that's always the goal. And then just to help as many people as possible. Dogs are part of the family, whether it's a working dog, whether it's a obedient dog, whether it's a pet, they are part of the family, and we all want our family to live in peace, to live in harmony, to be in a loving environment. And even the small stuff I've done with my friends of just getting their dogs to walk properly in a lead has made their dog become from a chore to an enjoyment and to the highlight of their day. Like, one of my friends were really struggling with their Rottweiler on lead walking, and even just helping them achieve a loose lead walk and helping them understand what needs to be in place for them to achieve that and to continue with that, like I said, made them think of dog walking as a chore to really enjoying again being out with their dog, and now they absolutely love their dog even more than they already did. So being able to do that more often to more people around the world, around England, and that would be for me like a massive goal. One of my longer term goals is to potentially have a rescue, or to be able to bring in rescues, train them up, fix them, and then make them ready for a home. Again, whether that be on a grand scale or a rescue shelter, or just on the small scale of a few dogs at a time, just be able to rescue them from homes, train them up, and then give them back to the people and just give them a life that they deserve. Whether they've been abandoned for whatever reason, just to train them up, send them back out to a loving family and give them a home. And that's something that I really want to do, and keep them from being euthanized and things like that. That's something that means a lot to me, and I want to be able to achieve later down in my career, in future in my career. So that's just me in a nutshell. Now, it wasn't very long, but I just want to be able to communicate with you guys where I'm at in my career of dog training. And I'm not yet professional by any means, but that's what I aspire to be. I'm doing many courses, many qualifications at the moment to achieve that, and you guys can come along for the journey with me. And while learning, I want to be able to podcast to people, like I said, pick their brains for nuggets of gold. They've got 10, 15 years experience, and if they can give me 4 or 5 little nuggets, that will help me, and I want to share that with you as well. If you guys have got any questions, you want to join along for the support, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I appreciate you guys.